Good afternoon. Welcome to Jim Lumley's World of Weather. Clicked on to long-range weather forecast discussion for December 29th through January 10th. The period for January 29th to December 29th to January 3rd. We have a ridge here, a blocking ridge over the east central Pacific. We have a trough here, broad flow with above normal heights across much of east central states, and here's the below normal heights that are consistent across much of Canada and Alaska. And as long as this trough is here, this will keep the trough in place in the west, and the cold air will be able to reach the east. Precipitation forecast for the Great Lakes, northwest, and southwest, northeastward into the northeast. We're going to look at the period now for January 1st to the 5th. Here we are at the 1st. We still have our ridge here, remains in place. Above normal heights across here, zone of flow across much of the east central states. And we're looking at the GFS. This is the first Sunday. And I'm going through each day. And we see we still have our trough here remaining in place. The ridge here, ridge over here, that's very strong, anomalously strong. And when we get to the 5th, we start seeing the trough starting to spread eastward. And this may play a role later in the forecast period. And then we look at the rest of the anomalies. Look at the height anomalies here. That is some height anomalies. This is the European deterministics. And then we look at the rest of the models. They're pretty much in agreement. So during this forecast period, I am forecasting below normal temperatures across much of this area, with anomalies of 2 to 8 degrees below normal, and above normal temperatures here, with anomalies of 2 to 6 degrees above normal for precipitation, calling for below normal precipitation for portions of the southwest and the southern plains. And we have above normal precipitation for the lower and middle Mississippi Valley and eastward to the Atlantic coast. Now for the period for January 6th to the 10th. Now, one thing I want to note is the index. This is the AO index, and you can see it's consistently positive. And we look at the PNA, it's slightly positive to neutral here, but negative, supporting the trough in the west. And we look at the AO, and it's consistently positive, consistent of no blocking and no indication of any storms on the east coast. However, I was looking at some of the models. The GFS has a low coming up the East Coast. No, that's the European. I'm sorry. The European had a low coming up the East Coast around New Year's Day, but I don't see that with these anomalies here, with these teleconnections. Okay, so back to the maps. For the period 6th to the 10th, here we are at the 6th. This ridge moved. This ridge really pumps up here over the Northeast Pacific. It really deepens this trough here, but it starts to slide eastward. And we have above normal heights here across the high latitudes, which is a good sign if you want the cold to come into the east, with above normal heights along the east coast. And then we go towards the end of the period, you start seeing this really starts to push eastward, encompassing much of the nation. And then we look at the other models. Now this is the GFS ensembles, brings the trough eastward but weaker, and it's more settled here and across the northeast. These height dynamics start to weaken some, so that might be indication of a change, and we have above normal heights here. And then we look at the Canadian, they're all pretty much the same thing. So during this forecast period, forecasting below normal temperatures here, with anomalies near 10 degrees below normal. Above normal temperatures are forecast along the east coast and northeast, with anomalies at 2 to 4 degrees above normal. And for precipitation, calling for above normal precipitation for the immediate west coast and for the southeast. Below normal precipitation is forecast for Texas and New Mexico. So that is a long-range weather forecast discussion for December 29th to January 10th. Thanks for coming to Jim Munley's World of Weather, and have a good day.